Let's talk about it. Developing a positive mindset. This is a challenge. This is absolutely a challenge, especially in this climate that we live in today. To be able to have some type of positivity, a positive outlook, it's a lot of challenges that we're facing right now. Now, this message is really not tailored towards individuals who may be dealing with some type of medical condition that affects them being able to deal with, becoming more positive. I'm not gearing it towards those individuals because I don't know. When you're diagnosed with maybe some type of depression or some type of ailment that causes you to have some kind of chemical imbalance. I'm just saying that my message, you need to be able to seek better counseling. You can try what it is that I'm talking about, but you know, it becomes a little bit more detail oriented as it relates to what you can possibly what's needed in order to change your particular condition. Anyway, so developing a positive mindset. Now, we know that that's circumstantial. We know that circumstances can affect you developing a positive mindset because you may look at your own condition, your own situation. You may look at maybe you don't have enough money right now. You may have situations with your relationships. You may have situations where, if you have kids, that, the challenges of being a parent, that can become a little bit of a challenge to feel more positive. Your surroundings, where you live at, those can be a challenge of trying to be positive or trying to develop a positive mindset. But I would say that you always have the ability to do so because we as humans have brains, and we as humans have the ability to completely put ourselves in a totally different reality than what we're actually facing. That type of stuff, you have folks that can explain to you how you can tap into your inner self and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff. You got that stuff all on YouTube. I can't really give you much of a formula of how that type of stuff works. But if you really want to become truly in tune with yourself and really start developing some type of alternative way of living by looking at some of these rituals or these processes and stuff like that, then hey, there's plenty of folks that could talk to you about that. I want to kind of give you just a simple way of how you can start trying to develop a positive mindset. Now, I see it every day when I'm out and about. And one of the things I notice when I'm out and about is most people don't smile. Most people don't smile. Now, I'm not telling you that you go out there and you're cheesing, doing all of this extra stuff like, you won the lottery or some crazy thing like that. I'm not saying that. But I think that if you're interacting with maybe, a cashier, or you interacting with, someone on the phone or something like that, if you can find a way to smile, this can create a different pathway for your brain. You create a pathway for your brain because your brain is recalling all of the comfortable pathways that you have. And the comfort pathways that you have are normally the same stuff that you've been doing day in and day out. And if that is, you haven't been smiling, then you're always going to kind of stick to that same pathway. Now, if you start smiling and you start frequently smiling, then you could create a newer pathway that then all of a sudden that becomes the dominant factor. That becomes the dominant pathway. You just try it. You just try it because there is science behind when they look at the region of your brain when you start smiling, how those different parts start lighting up. And a lot of us looking at these animals here. A lot of us tend not to do that on a daily basis. On a daily basis, maybe once in a while they'll smile, when they're around a friend or a family member, or maybe they see something that they see on social media that kind of makes them smile. But for the most part, we're just kind of going day in and day out with our life, and we tend to have a life that seems like it's not going to generate a smile. So I would say that one of the first things that you can start doing is start working on trying to smile a little bit more. Try to make an effort to smile a little bit more. The other thing that's on the same lines of smiling is, how many of y'all folks laugh? How many of y'all folks laugh every day? And I'm not talking about laughing at somebody's misery. Somebody got hurt, they got injured, they fell down, and then, they injured themselves, and you're laughing at their misfortune. Not that kind of laughing. I'm talking about comedian joke laugh stuff. Looking at maybe social media, since most of us look at social media, and looking at kids and some of the things that they do, some of the things they say, some of the different types of content that's out there that maybe has a little bit more. And I'm kind of not a fan of so much of the prank stuff. I would say if it's a decent type of prank of somebody who knows somebody or something like that, like a family member who does it. All right, cool. Family member pranks another family member in the house or something. All right, cool. That type of stuff is cool. I'm not a fan of the stuff that, you do outside when people are, it's unpredictable and nobody knows who you are and stuff like that. I think that could be dangerous, and I think that could be a little bit negative. But if there's pranks of people who know other people, look at those different types of things. But you need to laugh. Laugh every day. Every day. Every day you should be laughing at something. And what that then again does is it creates this pathway in your brain where you start to, that becomes the dominant factor where you start to do it more. And the more that you do it, the more that you'll start seeing each and every day that you'll have something to laugh about. Even when you're out and about, all of a sudden you'll start to find something that was funny. Somebody did something that was funny, and they were standing in the line before you, and they did something funny where they, bent over and they had, something hanging out, and that seemed to be funny, or they said some type of funny joke and you picked up on that. It's like you're attracting those things to come to you to where you can start laughing. Look, I understand this climate that we're in right now is, a lot of folks would feel like it's the end of time, and everything just feels uneasy and it doesn't feel right, and things are just, you're questioning everything. Things don't make any sense. But that doesn't mean that you can't change your individual reality. Everything else around you is always going to be there. You can't control that. You can't change that. But what you can change is how you respond to what's around you. And smiling and laughing are things that you can implement that are the most simplest things in the world. I'm not even sitting up here telling you to do some, mind-body meditation. I'm not telling you to do all of that type of stuff that's a process in itself. I'm not telling you to, write down in your journal and do all these different types of extra, writing type of things that you need to do. And I'm not telling you any of that stuff. The most simplest and the easiest thing that you can do to start working on developing a positive mindset is looking at smiling. Give yourself something to smile about. Look at something that will make you smile. And absolutely start looking at stuff that makes you laugh. And I'm talking about you work on laughing every day. Something's got to make you laugh every day. Even if it's one laugh a day. Hey, well, that's better than none. But laughing and smiling are things that are going to at least start to give you these different pathways to start implementing that in type of stuff in your life, and that you can then start to attract more and more things that are going to give you something to smile about and give you something to laugh about. And that's just a start. That's just a start. That's it. Let's just work on that. You know what I mean? So on that note, like I always do, I got to go to the park, go do my thing, see where I'm at, where the sun is at and stuff like that. That does make a big difference of how you may feel, how positive it may make you feel, because you got the sun beating on you, the weather is nice and stuff like that, and everybody can't be in this kind of climate. But I'm talking about, regardless of what climate you're in, you got a climate in your head. You know what I mean? That climate in your head is the most powerful climate in the world that you control. Nobody else controls this. You control it. So put some control on your thoughts. Put some control on your feelings and your emotions. And start letting all these other outside forces affect you like that. All right? Now, I already said this before, but I'm going to catch you on the next note. Peace out.